Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I am Rabbi Barry Silver on behalf of Congregation L'Dor Va-Dor. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the celebration of a very special Shabbat known as Shabbat Shuvah, the Sabbath of Return. These high holy days are all about returning to the purity of our soul, returning to the original goodness, try to unshackle ourselves from all the bad habits of the past, and starting anew. It's also a very solemn anniversary, the 20th anniversary of the most horrific terror attack on the United States on September 11, 20 years ago. We will commemorate that horrible event as well. To help us celebrate tonight, we have Valerie and Mishka Jet. They will be leading us in the lighting of the candles. It's appropriate because the candles represent two candles, the lights, the light of reason and the light of shalom. The two of them are a great source of shalom and of reason. Let me explain to you why. When I first met Valerie and Mishka, they joined us in discussions in our Zoom Shabbat discussions, controversial issues series, and their opinions and my opinions often differed. Sometimes they were the same, sometimes not. But you know what? They did something that is almost unheard of in today's world. They actually sat down and talked with someone who held a different opinion and disagreed agreeably. And we developed a wonderful relationship where we could say anything to each other, whether we agreed or not, had absolutely nothing to do with our affection for one another and our unity behind Jewish ideals. I couldn't think of any better people to help celebrate the light of reason and of peace and harmony than Valerie and Mishka Jet. They serve as a role model for what we so badly need in the world today, the ability to talk to other people of different opinions and to get along. We also have someone leading us in the Kiddush who's also an inspiration to me, cantorial soloist Andy Sussman. His music, his voice, his spirit is just so wonderful and so peaceful and melodious. I just enjoy listening to him so much. Not only when he sings, but also when he speaks. He shares our philosophy at L'Dor Va-Dor of trying to be a light to the nations and a light of reason. I'm glad to have both of them helping to lead us in this celebration. I'm glad to have you here with us. And after all the services that you hopefully attended for Rosh Hashanah and plan to attend for Yom Kippur, I'm thrilled that you decided, I just can't get enough Judaism. I gotta come back for more on Shabbat Shuvah. And now, let the celebration of Shabbat begin.
Good evening, everyone. These lights are only flickering flames, yet flames illuminate our uncertain steps. Flames purify and renew, soften and refine. They brighten and make warm.
Flames remind us of Sabbaths long past and of their beauty that delighted our hearts. May they inspire us to work for the greater Sabbath of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshonu bo mitzvotov, v'tzivonu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Mishka and I have been members of L'Dor Va-Dor for about 3 years. We have enjoyed working with everyone and seeing everyone when we were in our sanctuary. This year has presented challenges that no one could have anticipated. But through it all, L'Dor Va-Dor adapted and reinvented itself to keep us together. We plunged headlong into the 21st century using technology to create wonderful virtual services and thought-provoking programming with an extraordinary artistic flair. It has given us a greater understanding of each other. And while we don't always agree with each other, we care about each other. For Mishka and I, that more than anything will keep us part of this wonderful congregation of L'Dor Va-Dor. To all of you, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Da lifnei mi atah. לפני מי אתה, מי, דע לפני מי אתה, מי, דע לפני מי אתה, made in the solitude of a meadow, in the strength of a mighty mountain, in the weeping of a willow, or in a crowded street. Da lifnei mi atah. Da lifnei mi atah, made in the icicles forming stalactites, in the eye of a raging storm, in the kindness of a stranger, we can glimpse you even more. Da lifnei mi atah. Lifnei mi atah, made. Know before whom you stand, find the good in every moment, keep your temple sacred, know before whom you stand. Da lifnei mi atah. Lifnei mi atah, made. Da lifnei mi atah, made. Da lifnei mi atah.
We just saw a graphic saying in Hebrew, Da lifnei ata omed, and we heard a beautiful song about the same theme. Know before whom you stand. These words are often displayed prominently in conservative and Orthodox synagogues, trying to give us a sense of awe and reverence for this incredible power that's responsible for all the universe. But do we really know before whom we stand? If we imagine that we're standing before a celestial tyrant and dictator, someone who, according to the Bible, was slaughtering the infidels and ordering Jews to do so, and demanding the death penalty for violating any of his laws, we don't really know before whom we stand. Fortunately, that image is a fiction. What really is going on, if we really want to know before whom we stand here in the presence of miracles, of wonders, far beyond anything that our ancestors could have imagined, responsible for a universe vastly more immense and wondrous than anything they conceived of. Da lifnei ata omed, we stand here today on the precipice of knowing even more about this incredible universe and cosmos of ours. If we really took these words to heart, every time we walked outside, we would behold miracles. Every time we contemplated the beauty of life, we would behold the spectacular. Every time we thought about how magnificent the human body is and all of the living things, we would know that we stand before a power in this universe that is indeed awesome and magnificent. Let us, as we enter into these prayers, have our minds filled with this consciousness, so that when we recite and listen to these prayers, we can truly say, Da lifnei ata omed, know before the awesome power that you stand.
Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim. Bechokma poteach she'arim, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים. במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו, ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto, Leolam, Leolam Vayed.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לעוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אליהם, נורא תהילות אוסף אליהם, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים לפני משה, זה ליאנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, לעולם ועד.
אדוני שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך. Open up our lips to speak words that are true. Open up our souls to let our love shine through. Open up our hearts that we may feel our pain as we now rise to praise your name. Adonai, שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך.
It was the great scientist, the great Jewish philosopher, and the inspiration behind cosmic Judaism who said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Why? Because in order to have knowledge, you first have to imagine something, and then you can fill in your imagination with knowledge. And if you imagine things, you can go beyond current knowledge to discover new things. In the silent meditation, we are called upon to use our imagination in order to contemplate a world beyond the everyday, our lives beyond what they are today into what they could be if we utilized our potential and the inspiration of our parents, our dear ones, and our heritage. Let us spend now a few moments in silent meditation on the Shabbat Shuvah, to take a trip back to our past, when our thoughts were pure, when we were filled with idealism. Let us see if we can recapture that sense of innocence and youthful wonder. As we enter a few moments of silent meditation, let us return to our past and then be ready to meet our future with fresh idealism of our youth. We now engage in silent meditation.
May the source of strength, oh bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our life a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, V'tayeh libeinu, v'tayeh libeinu, v'tayeh libeinu li'ovdecha be'emet, v'tayeh libeinu, v'tayeh libeinu, v'tayeh libeinu li'ovdecha be'emet. La 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 la. V'tayeh libeinu, v'tayeh libeinu, v'tayeh libeinu li'ovdecha be'emet.
There was once an elderly Jewish woman, and she said to her husband, I hope you live bis 119, which means I hope you live to 119. The normal expression or blessing is till 120. Her husband was pleased that she wanted him to have long life, but somewhat surprised that she would say until 119. He asked, why 119? She said, well, I'd like to have 1 year to myself. This custom of wishing someone long life by saying, I hope you live to 120, comes from the Torah reading for this Shabbat Vayelech, in which Moses is said to have lived to be 120 years old, at the age of which he now gives these instructions to Joshua and the Jewish people. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavarach, Baruch Adonai hamavarach leolam vaed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Now, I'm not quite 120, but the effects of age are taking their toll on me, so I do need to apply these glasses. Vayelech Moshe, vayidaber et hadvarim ha'ele el kol Yisrael. And Moses went out and shared these words with the whole house of Israel. Vayomer alehem. And he said to them, Ben 120 shana anochi hayom. Today I am 120 years old. Maybe it was his birthday because he's using the word today. Lo uchal od latzet ve'lavo. Not able to move about as I did before, to come and to go. Adonai amar elai lo ta'avor et hayarden. Hazeh Adonai Elohecha hu over lifanecha. I'm not able to go with you, but the Lord your God, he will go before you. Vayarishtem, and he shall conquer those lands and deliver them to you. Yehoshua hu over lifanecha ka'asher diber Adonai va'asa Adonai lahem. But Joshua, he shall lead you as the vanguard as you enter the promised land. Ka'asher asa l'Sichon u'le'og malchei ha'emori u'la'otzam. And he shall do the same thing to these other nations who are there now, what we did to Sichon and Og, the Amorite kings in their land. Asher hishmidotam. In case they forgot, he reminded, God destroyed them. Unetatem Adonai livnechem va'asitem lachem kochul hamitzvah asher tzaviti etchem. And therefore you should do all that God has commanded you to do through me. Chazaku va'amsu. Be strong and be brave. Al tilcha'u. Do not be afraid. Va'al ta'altsu mipnechem. Do not feel insecure before your enemies. Ki Adonai Elohecha hu ha'olech imach lo yopcha v'lo ya'azavacha. Because God himself is going before you. He will not forsake you or forget his covenant with you. V'yicha Moshe liHoshua. And Moses called upon Joshua, Vayomer alav, and he said to him, Le'enei kol Yisrael, in the eyes of all Israel, Chazak ve'amatz. Be strong and be of good courage. The blessing after the Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chai olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. There was once a Jewish woman named Sadie, and she really wanted to talk to her Zeta, who had passed on years ago, and didn't know how she could possibly do that until she saw an ad by Madame Zelda, who said that she could talk to people from the great beyond. So she came to visit Madame Zelda, who had a seance that evening with many people gathered around. They turned down the lights, looked into the crystal ball, and Madame Zelda said, I am now in touch with the great beyond. And Sadie said, oh, I want to talk to my Zeta. She said, go right ahead. So she said, Zeta, how are you doing? He said, things are fine up here. Everything's going well. Zeta, tell me, what do you have to tell me? What words of wisdom? I wish you well, my dear. I hope everything goes fine. Zeta, how is it there? Are you in touch with all of our relatives? Oh, all of our relatives are doing wonderful. It's so wonderful to be here. So Sadie says, I just have one more question for you, Zeta. She says, sure, ask me anything. When did you learn English? You know, my friends, a lot of people are very willing to believe all type of supernatural claims because it makes them feel good and it serves a need that they have to believe in something that they desperately yearn to believe. At Congregation L'Dor Va-Dor, we do not fill your mind with false notions and false ideas and tell you things that you want to hear no matter how ridiculous and no matter how fanciful. Rather, we provide inspirational Judaism. What that means is it's inspiration based on what's real. There is so much out in this world that is so magnificent, so many opportunities to share love and to share affection and to share sheer joy with other people, so much beauty in the world. We do not have to make things up. There's plenty of love and inspiration and joy in the world as it is. And one of the things that's so wonderful about being Jewish, we believe that we are born with a divine, sacred soul or inner being within us. It's not supernatural, it's just part of what it is to be human. And we celebrate that on Shabbat Shuvah because that soul within us is pure and good. We believe in original goodness, not original sin. And we seek to return to the original goodness of our soul by getting rid of all the bad habits that we've learned and by returning to the pristine beliefs and ideals of our people. And in order to do this, it's important that we take a bold stand. And so some people say, I'm Jewish. Well, Jewish sounds like you're kind of a little bit like a Jew. Like the word childish. It means you're not really a child, you're just acting like one. 5-ish or 6-ish means it's not really 5 or 6, it's just kind of close to it. So when we say Jewish, some people think that means, well, I'm kind of a little like a Jew, but not really. What I'm asking you today is to really seriously, on these high holy days, to be a Jew. And what does it mean to be a Jew? It means to say adieu. Adieu is French. It means goodbye. Adieu. To be a Jew means to say adieu to cynicism. To be a Jew means to say adieu to thinking that there's no point in trying to make the world better because it's a hopeless case. To be a Jew means to say adieu to the bad habits that have plagued us before and to try to ascribe to something better. To be a Jew means to say adieu to not getting involved in government, as distasteful as it often is to try to make the government better, because that's where all the action is in trying to make this world a better place. To be a Jew means to say adieu to selfishness and to greed, and to instead to think of others and to have a higher purpose, to have a goal when we wake up in the morning, to be a blessing to others. What does adieu actually mean? It really means to God. Is every French person a believer in God? Does everybody in French who says adieu means they believe in God? No, it's a vestige. It's a vestige of the past. But it sparks a belief of long ago, when people believed that there was some type of connection between us and the great powers that govern this universe. Today, that connection seems lost. Science has dispelled the consequences of believing in a God of the Bible. The science repudiates that approach, but it does not dispel. In fact, it enhances the belief that there are wondrous, awesome powers in this universe that make everything happen, that we should celebrate and rejoice to be a part of. Those powers are within us. And so this gives us reason to rejoice and to celebrate. And so we can say adieu, meaning that we should try to tap into that creative power essence within us. Now, adieu is what people say when they say goodbye. And we say adieu, goodbye to certain things that we no longer ascribe to. The opposite of that is to say oui. Oui in French means yes. So we should say oui to love, oui to embracing harmony with other people, oui to shalom, oui to thinking beyond ourselves, to helping others, and oui to being a part of a world of peace. But we also has an English connotation as well. We, of course, means us. And on the high holidays, we sing Avinu Malkeinu, our Father, our King. We congregate. Even during a pandemic, Judaism cannot be quarantined, and our belief in our heritage cannot be masked. We unmute ourselves in order to give voice to Jewish ideals, and we do it collectively. That's why Avinu Malkeinu. Yes, you and I, we could easily commune with the beauty of nature and with a desire to do good, but like any other endeavor, we do it so much better when we do it with fellow human beings who are committed to the same thing we are, working on the same page. So on this day, we say adieu to bad habits and oui to the good ones that will replace them. And we also say, we shall overcome. No matter how dark it is, no matter how virulent is the pandemic of arrogance, ignorance, and indolence and indifference, we have the vaccine of love and reason. we will apply it freely and give it to other people so that we shall overcome darkness and be a light unto the nations. Shabbat Shalom and L'Shana Tova.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
North Tower is down. All personnel be advised. The North Tower is down.
Tonight we celebrate Shabbat Shuvah, the Sabbath of return, when we try to return to the purity of our souls and of the Jewish people, when we were filled with idealism and ready to do battle against the forces of evil. Today, many people seem willing just to sit this one out and to be content just to be passive observers. Observant Jews, perhaps, but not active Jews. We are also here on a very somber occasion, the 20th anniversary of the worst terrorist attack against the United States that occurred on September 11, 20 years ago. That was an incredibly horrific tragedy. Thousands of people who died, thousands of innocent people who died a horrible death. Not only that, but for the last 20 years, we've been trying to weed out terrorism in Afghanistan and suffered 1,000 more deaths. What we never seemed to realize is that we were not just fighting an enemy on the battlefield. We were fighting an idea in the battlefield of ideas. We never seem to recognize that. And so we learn nothing from the past, and therefore we're condemned to repeat it over and over, no closer to achieving peace. So what can we learn from the past? How can we transcend that? How can we get past this so that we don't have to fight battle after battle for 20 years? How can we learn from our past? We need to ask, why is it that we were attacked on September 11? Very simple. The Quran told the attackers that they should kill people in the name of God. Where did they get this crazy notion? We get it from the Torah reading we just did tonight. In the Torah, God said that he destroyed, utterly wiped out, committed genocide against Sihon and against the entire Amorite people. And he also is engaged in battles in the Holy Land after that, in which he promised to wipe out all the people there. Where do they get it? From us. We have met the enemy, and it is us. Fortunately, Jewish people aren't doing this anymore, but our Torah is the origin of the virus of believing God commands to kill, and it now has a variant in Islam. How can we change that? How can we try to fight against this idea? By first saying our concept of God ordering death for non-believers is wrong. We repudiate it. What it says in the Torah is simply not true. We don't justify it. We don't rationalize it. We don't explain it. We don't try to put it into context. We say it's wrong, it's false, it's not true. We repudiate it, and now we will be on solid moral ground to try to get others to do the same. That is the only way. You might think, well, that's impossible. Religions change all the time. Nobody's worshiping Apollo and Zeus anymore. It is possible for religions to change, and we need to be the catalyst. In that way, we can honor the memory of those who perished by learning from the past and trying to make sure that other people don't have to suffer the same horrible fate. We also mention the names of Ed Asner and Tom Flynn, who recently passed away, as long as all of our loved ones, as we read the Kaddish. Yiskedal v'yiskedash Shemei Rabbah, b'yalma divrach ruseh b'yamich malchuseh, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayeh l'chol beis Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi Shemer Abba Mivorach Le'olam Omeo Maya. Yisparach, Yistabach, Yispoar, Yischomam, Yisnaseh. V'yisadar, V'yisalev, V'yisalal, Shemer Keresha Berechum. Le'elam Enko Berchasa V'shirasa. Tush Bechasa V'nechamasa. Ta'amiron B'yama V'yimru Amen. Yehi Shlom Rabba Min Shmaya V'chayim Aleinu V'yakol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav. V'yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'yakol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. May the source of peace and comfort bring peace and comfort to all who mourn. And let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, Lashana Tova. We welcome you to L'Dor Va-Dor and hope you're enjoying our Sabbath of Return, Shabbat Shuvah service, and our honoring of the 20th memorial anniversary of 9/11. I'm Sharon Leibovitz. Our services for Rosh Hashanah were wonderful, and we thank all of you who had a role in making these so special. We hope if you did not join us in person that you've had the opportunity to view these services online through our website, ledorvador.org. We look forward to our Yom Kippur services this coming week and hope you'll be a part of these as well. We will hold our annual food drive on Yom Kippur Day, September 16th from 9:30 a.m. till 3 p.m., where we ask for all to bring non-perishable new food items to be donated to those in need in our local community. Our Interfaith Dialogue is an amazing annual event with guest clergy from many religions held at 1:30 p.m. on September 16th in the St. Aloysius High Auditorium. If you'd like to attend our Yom Kippur services in person and don't have tickets yet, we still have a limited number available. Please go to our website, ledorvador.org, to purchase or for more information. We offer these services online for no charge, but ask if you would like to support our congregation in the work that we're doing to please make a donation. L'Dor Va-Dor offers a unique brand of Judaism that's based on reason, science, and intellect. We welcome people of all denominations, beliefs, and backgrounds to join in uniting Judaism as one. We invite you to be a part of our congregation and welcome you to learn more about L'Dor Va-Dor. We have an outrageously special membership offer for those new to L'Dor Va-Dor. This is the time to join L'Dor Va-Dor and help us to build the Judaism of tomorrow. We hope you'll take us up on this offer. We hold our weekly Torah study and chat with the rabbi on Tuesday, September 14th at 7 p.m. on Zoom, where we dig a little deeper into the Torah portion and other topics. We hope to see you on this virtual and educational program. Each Friday evening at 8 p.m., we gather for our Oneg Shabbat, Zoom, and Shmooze, where we hear from our cantorial soloists some beautiful Shabbat music and take part in some great discussion. Please join us for this virtual get-together each Friday evening. From our website, ledorvador.org, you can find our calendar and the links for all our services, including our High Holy Day services and all our future programs. You can get our Facebook page and our YouTube channel links by clicking on the icons in the upper right corner. We also send out email communication to all to keep you informed of what's new and upcoming at L'Dor Va-Dor. We wish you all a peaceful and wonderful Shabbat and hope that you can experience your own return to your Jewish neshama, soul, and a good, healthy, and happy new year. Lashana Tova and Shabbat Shalom with love from all of us at L'Dor Va-Dor.
If you are still watching with us tonight and took the time to share Shabbat in between the holiest days of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and couldn't get enough and wanted to share this Shabbat with us, I thank you so much for joining with us and being part of Congregation L'Dor Va-Dor's rational approach to Judaism. I do also have a benediction for you, a blessing that I would like you to partake of with all of us. Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmorecha, May you be blessed and may you be preserved with good health, with good cheer, and with a kindly heart. May the light of love and of reason shine upon you and be emitted from you always. May you be lifted up by the power of love in order to be a blessing to others and bring about a world of peace. I thank you for sharing Shabbat with us. I hope to see you on Yom Kippur. If you can join us in person, please say hello. If you're joining us on cyberspace, please send me an email at barryboca@aol.com. Join with our congregation. We are doing something exciting on these high holidays. We're launching Cosmic Judaism, a rational science-based approach to Judaism where you do not have to leave your common sense at the door as you enter L'Dor Va-Dor. A way of looking at Judaism that does not insult your intelligence, a way of looking at Judaism that is consistent with reason, with common sense, a way of looking at Judaism that can attract and be appealing to Jews of all stripes, regardless of their beliefs. Those who cherish reason and science, those who cherish Jewish tradition, those who want to make the world a better place, all are welcome. Thank you for joining us. Spread the word, and I hope to see you on Yom Kippur. Thank you for joining us on Shabbat Shuvah. I hope we will all return to the purity of our youth before cynicism began to creep in, when we were filled with idealism that we can make a difference and be a blessing to mankind. Shabbat Shalom.
Tremper la pomme dans le miel, le shofar qui nous réveille, chanter les airs éternels, déjà Rosh Hashanah. Les feux envahissent les mails, santé, douceur, vie plus belle, lever les yeux vers le ciel, voici Rosh Hashanah. Hey, pose tes congés, c'est la nouvelle année, on est tous invités.
C'est la fête de Rosh Hashanah, et Shana Tova, et où que tu sois, j'ai rue ou Paris, so call me baby, c'est Rosh Hashanah, et je n'ai qu'une envie, personne ne s'oublie, so call me baby, et Shana Tova, et où que tu sois, j'ai rue ou Paris, so call me baby, c'est Rosh Hashanah, et je n'ai qu'une envie, personne ne s'oublie, so call me maybe.
Yom Kippour en repère, tous les gâteaux de grand-mère, le sucré remplace la mer, ça sent Rosh Hashanah. Le livre à nouveau ouvert, les chants se mêlent aux prières, on se sent tous un peu frères, ça c'est Rosh Hashanah. Tous bien habillés, en blanc comme chaque année, la table est enfin dressée.
Bonne fête de Rosh Hashanah, et Shana Tova, et où que tu sois, j'ai rue ou Paris, so call me maybe, c'est Rosh Hashanah, et je n'ai qu'une envie, personne ne s'oublie, so call me maybe, offrez un mot, un sourire pour Rosh Hashanah, Shana Shana Tova, tout ne peut pas nous nuire à Rosh Hashanah, Shana Shana Tova, c'est Rosh Hashanah, et je n'ai qu'une envie.